All right, everyone. Everyone meaning Pritosh, not Manish. We are at our final week of Tech Bytes, yay! And today we're gonna do our web development bell day. We have come a long, long way from starting June. We learned a lot in the language of JavaScript, did a lot of problems using JavaScript and HTML. Not a lot of CSS in bell day, but we did that stuff in web project development. But today we will end with a final problem, and yeah. All right. So this is Ryan. I don't think we should do introductions today, but once more, if you forgot who one of your teachers were, this is Ryan Siddiqui. He's gonna go to UIC for computer science. And in case you forgot me, my name is Lovely Jane. um, I'll be studying computer science too. All right. Oh, also, just to flex on you, I went to SpaceX.
Yeah, she has made the Falcon 9 image a lot bigger than last time.
All right, so the agenda for today, week plan, would you rather of the day. Since we did talk some, we can skip the would you rather of the day since it's just the three of us. You can, you guys, if you guys want to talk about something just before doing the problem, we can definitely talk about that. Just let me know after I tell you guys the week plan, which is also really small. All right, so that's the agenda for today. Oh yeah, and then finally wrap up. So this week's week plan is basically wrapping up summer Tech Bytes sessions. This means that whatever questions you have, whatever code that you might think is not working, just let us know. You can stick after class today, tomorrow, and Wednesday, and we'd be happy. Oh no, we'd be happy to help. That being said, if you have been trying a new project and you want some help on that, we can look at that code as well. That would be really cool. But yeah, that's this week's plan. Now, instead of the would you rather question of the day, is there anything else that you guys would like to talk about?
Is there gonna be a Tech Bytes fall?
Okay, so about that, we have been trying to get new people like Ran and I on board, and that process it's like a whole job process where there's an interview, like an application interview and stuff, and that takes weeks. So if we do get someone in time, then there will be a fall session. If not, then it'll be delayed. Like it will start in November or December, and yeah, that'll be Tech Bytes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But Tech Bytes Discord will still be open. So all right. So if
Avanish,
Yeah.
since you're going to 7th grade, what electives did you pick?
I don't know. Something with music. I forgot. It was like in May.
okay. All right. So this week's problem is last problem for Tech Bytes, guys. Summer Tech Bytes program. Write a program to split a number into halves. So pretty easy. But let's see how the code would work. So basically, a half of an 8 is 4 and 4. We're gonna get a number inside our function, which will.
And you just do like you're just gonna write like half of 8 is 4, and then you're just do something divided by 2 for every number because it's only half. It's not gonna be that complex, right? Or is there gonna be something big?
Yeah, no, actually, it's kind of how you explained it, but a little bit different because, as I was saying, we're gonna put in the number 8, and what we're gonna return out of the function is an array of 2 numbers. So in this case, 4, comma 4. If we did put in 5, the array would be 2, comma 3. So we're gonna use here. Let's just go to the next one. To do that, we're gonna use variables, of course, to hold the numbers. Functions, that's gonna the input parameter would be an 8, and then it's gonna return the array of 4, comma 4, and it's gonna hold all of the math operations. Now the last thing, we are going to use mods on top of the divide, and that's in order to find out if the half number needs to be truncated or not. Yeah, so Avanish, what were you talking about? Tell us one more time.
I was talking about like if it's going to be complex or like for every number, you're just gonna use x divided by 2 because it's like only half.
Yeah, so think about 5. If you do divide 5 by 2, it's gonna be 2.5, right? And that the way like our problem today does not want decimals. Now it is really easy for even numbers like 248, blah blah, because all you have to do is divide by 2 and just put in that number 2 times in an array and return that. But for odd numbers, that's the case, the edge case that we want to work with. We'll need to use mods. And that mod basically will return a number. That will be the second number that we put in the array. So how about this? Do you guys have something in mind that we can do? Or how about, okay, we can whiteboard this together, and since it's just the 3 of us, then how about all 3 of us do code it separately, because we do have time. We have about 15 minutes, or not even like in half an hour. So we can try to code this on our own. Let's see how that goes, because I believe in you guys. You guys are pretty like good at this stuff. You have been participating a long time. You guys know how this works. So let's do the whiteboard. Let's see how to solve the problem, and then let's see if you guys can do this. It's like a final exam.
This is gonna be in JS Studio, right?
Yep. Okay. Let me open up whiteboard. Okay. Give me a second. All right. Technical difficulties, guys. But okay. That should work. Okay, that works. All right, let me share my whiteboard. Aha, okay. Oh. So let's start. Let's just do the same step-by-step things of what we will do. So here, let me do just typing like I did last time, because you guys know my thing with whiteboards. All right, so we have function. Let's say have or split. Yeah, split. Split num. That's the name of our function. We open it, close it, and inside that are the steps that we are going to add in. So as I said, the number, the eight that we do pass in, that's going to go through as a parameter, and this place inside the parentheses is where it's going to go. So that is going to be the param num, and that param num is then going to be used to divide into 2 and stuff. Okay, so the first part of the function, there's going to be 2 parts, and the first part is actually dividing it by 2. So that's basically what Avanish said. You just basically divide the number by 2, and let's say just set it equal to a variable. So have is equal to param num divided by 2. All right. So we're gonna do a simple logic, and then we're gonna try to implement this function in an even number and on an odd number. So function split num, first we divide it by 2. Next we try to see if we do put in an even number and we divide this by 2, then we basically just return this half in both sections of the or in both indices of the array, 0 and 1. But if it's not an even number, then we have to do some stuff to it. So how? Oh, we got someone else in Zoom. Sam. All right. Hello, Sam. We are just doing the whiteboard or like figuring out the logic of the problem. I will quickly tell you the problem so you don't feel lost. And this is the problem. Okay, so today's problem is write a program to split a number into halves. So the halves of 8 are 4 and 4, and the halves of 5 are 2 and 3. Basic, pretty basic. So we were just doing the whiteboard, or like we're figuring out the logic of it, and you came in at the right time. Okay, so first we did the half. We divided param num by 2. Now this is a little pop quiz for you guys. How do you figure out if a number is even or odd? Anyone remember?
If it is divided into 2 equal halves.
Yeah, that is true. What operation do we use to figure out if a number is even or odd?
You divide it by 2.
In math, yeah, but in code, not really. All right, I'll give you a hint. We use the operation mod, the percent operation. Still no idea? All right. So, yeah, go ahead.
I don't know. Do you have something to do with decimals?
Not really. So basically, we have to we have the param num. There's an A over here. Okay, sorry. So we have our param num, and we want to see if it's an odd number or an even number. So what we do is we have an if param num. So we want to see if it's divisible by 2, what Pareto said, if it can be halved. Now, if it's divisible by 2, then the remainder when it's divided by 2 will be 0. But if it's not divisible by 2, the remainder when we divide param num by 2 is 1. So how do we find remainders? Well, we use mods. So we will.
What is mods?
Mod, the percent sign. Remember we used this I think we used this in Python and JavaScript. So param num mod 2. In fact, let us do a little activity. Haha. Okay, so I'm gonna start doing some problems for like what mod is, just to explain it to you guys. And then you guys should catch on pretty quick. So basically, 5 mod 2 is equal to 1. 7 mod 6 is also equal to 1. 6 mod 2 is actually mod 3 is equal
to... now I remember. It's like the percent sign.
Yeah. So what does it tell us? What is 1, 0? What are those numbers? They are starts with an R.
I forgot.
They are the remainders, right? They're the remainders of, if we do divide 5 by 2, so 7 divided by 6 is remainder 1. We don't care about what the quotient is, so we don't care that 7 divided by 6 is 1, but we do care that 7 divided by 6 has a remainder of 1 when we do use mods. So that is mods. Let me just, oh yeah. Okay, now that we remember mods, we're gonna go back to our um, our code. So in here, actually in the first back over here, in 5 mod 2, the remainder was 1. Now if we did 6 mod 2, the remainder was 0. And that's how we do find out even and odd numbers. If a number mod 2 has a remainder of 1, it's an odd number because it's not divisible by 2. But if it's divisible by 2, then the remainder is 0. That means it's an even number. So let me make another text box. So if param num mod 2 is, let me just add in over here, is equal to 0. So if it's an even number, all we have to do is, let me get back to my text. We just have to return our array, which is that half, comma, half, right? But else, if actually we don't have to say if, sorry about the noise if you guys are getting that. Else, the only else is if it's not equal to 0, if param num mod 2 is not equal to 0, which means if it's an odd number, then all we have to do is return half. All right, this is half, comma, half plus 1. Now, there is a reason why I just said half plus 1. And there's one thing that we did.
Oh, that's why I think I remember that. It's like you don't want it to start at 0. You wanted to start at 1, right? That's why you did half plus 1.
Not really. Let me explain. So this half that we just made over here, second line. All right, second line, this half. Technically, that will turn into, so if we have 5, so if param num is 5, and we have that, divide that by 2, we're going to get 2.5 and 2.5, but we don't want decimals. So what we're going to do over here is we are going to truncate that number into an integer. And there is a special library in JavaScript for that, and it's basically called, let me get my text back in, it's called math.trunc. All right. Math.trunc, and then put in any number you want inside it. So half. So we're going to say half is equal to math.trunc half. And what this will do is this is going to turn that 2.5 into a 2. It's going to turn a 3.5 into a 3, 4.5 into a 4. It's going to truncate or cut off that decimal. And that's what we want because we don't want decimals in our array. So in a case of an odd number, suppose we do put in 5 inside as param num, we're going to end up with our half to be 2. So if we double 2, we only get 4. So in order to make sure it's right, make sure that our code is right, we're going to put in 2 as our first number, and then 2 plus 1, so 3 as our second number. So if you do add those two, we are going to get 5. So it is halved correctly, but it's not halved to the decimal. Does that make sense?
Kind of.
All right. So how confident are we based on like the explanation or the logic that we went through right now to do this on our own?
Can you do like a little bit of the code and then we can understand it? Just like the beginning part.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I can set up the function for everyone and then we can go on from there. All right, so let me X this out. Actually, stop sharing this. And let me get our JS Fiddle running. Is it? All right. Okay. let's go. I'm gonna name it split number in caps. Enter. I'm gonna save that. Should be good. All right. Copy this, send it in the chat so you guys can see live editing. And let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so as always, how we start in JavaScript is we start by making a function. We're gonna do function. What do we call it? I think split num. And we're gonna think about parameters later. All right, so here we made our function. We did function split num, close parentheses, open parentheses, close parentheses, open braces, close braces. Inside those parentheses is where we put in our parameter. We called that param num, and that'll be our parameter variable where numbers like 8 and 5 will go that you want to have. So there is that. We made our function. Now things should go inside that function, but before that, let's make a little testing thing. Let's just do, and of course, console does not work in Jalopy's computer, right? I think someone else was also having that problem. So it's not just me. So let's try alert split num. And then let's put in 8. Let's return 8 just to see if this is working. Run. And it is not, because alert does not work in Lobby's computer for some reason.
Just say everything doesn't work.
I hate to say that because you're not supposed to say that as a coder, but it really does not work. So let's just do console.log. And let's open up our inspect elements, console, and let's run that. There we go. We got our 8. Next, we basically do the code. Now, I will set up some documentation, and then let's split from here, get it split. Not split, no, okay. Let's split from here, and let's see if you guys can do what the documentation says. So in the documentation, we will start with first we do divide param num. Okay, this is kind of distracting. Divide param num. Second, we got a truncate, so math.trunc param num. We're gonna set this as, sorry, not param num, whatever the halved value is. Set this as the new halved value, and then finally, we're gonna add a conditional if the half, or if param num is even or odd. I'll just add in a reminder of what the syntax for that is, and it is if param num mod 2 is equal to 0. You guys figure out if that's even or odd. So inside that, if it's even, then just return 2 of the halves. Even, return half value, and then half value. And then, or else, if odd, then return half value, comma, half value plus 1. Easy. So these are the 5 simple steps of coding this problem. We made the function together. We know it works because we console.log it. Let's go ahead and see if you guys can do the rest. So how about this? These are all in the JS fiddle, am I right? Or not?
My JS feels kind of laggy
Oh, it is?
for today. Like some reason, like every time I run it, it doesn't even show. And then it takes like 10 seconds, even if I did was not an error, like it takes 10 seconds for it to show it's not an error.
Oh, okay. In that case, let's just work on mine. On this JS fiddle. And instead of me telling you guys what to do, why don't you guys tell me what I should write? Like actual syntax.
Okay, how about first of all, like for the function split num, we also create a button. Like when we create a button, it'll tell us it's have. So like we do wait, let me remember.
We would also
We do button ID equal to button1.
Mm-hmm.
we would also need a input after that for like to type in your digit.
Okay. That was not part of the plan, but definitely you guys are going above.
We can improvise.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. Let us make a. You said ID? Do we need an ID or do we need an on click? Do we need an ID or an on click?
Button ID.
ID?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you name the ID button1. And then after you say like on click and then put the function name, like function split num, which is what we created here.
All right.
Like find half of number. Yeah, split number. I think that's fine.
All right. Next.
I think that's all the button you need. You don't need any button else.
I think that's the only button.
Yeah.
All right. What's next?
I don't know.
Okay, how about if we're stuck on the HTML, let's do the JavaScript, what we made
The input,
because
like the
this documentation, this will not run any code. We have to actually code the JavaScript in there. Go ahead, Paritosh.
don't we have with the like the box like where you type in the number B? Would it be HTML or JavaScript?
That'll be HTML. JavaScript is actually dividing that number and returning an array.
Okay.
We type like after the function, we do half one. Let's just say the variable half1, and then it'll be half1 equal to param num divided by 2.
Perfect. All right, that's the first step.
Wait, don't you put like the param num divided by 2 in a parentheses? Or I don't guess you don't need it.
You don't need it, but it doesn't hurt to put in parentheses. All right, what's next? Second step, line 7. Hint, hint, the syntax is right over here. You guys just have to tell me.
Math.trunk.
Mm-hmm. So we can't just say math.trunk. We have to, this is the new value.
What was that?
That is our mixer. You know those mixers that you use to grind
Right?
stuff. Sorry about that.
Amazing explanation.
All right. I think that should be it. But okay. So yeah, we're not gonna do just math.trunk because we have to set the new value. This will be a value. We're gonna set the value of half1 to this. So how do we do that? Basically what we did in line 4. No.
Map the trunk of half1.
Here, so we're gonna do half1 is equal to, and then Avnish, what you were gonna see, what you said, math.trunk, and then inside that we're gonna put in the previous half1. That is it. So the new value of half1 is basically the truncated value of the previous half1. Then we do start the conditional. How do we do the conditional? Come on, God. Simple syntax.
If parentheses paranum. Wait, yeah. The percent symbol 2 = 0.
Okay. Then what?
If it's would it be even?
So is this an even case or an odd case?
That's a even case.
Yeah.
So it'd be return. No. Oh, okay. And then this symbol, because I don't know what you call it.
The bracket?
Yeah, the bracket. Not that one, but the other one. And then you put half value, comma, value.
Do I put this?
Yeah, I think.
So what is half value?
The half of the paranum.
What variable did we save that in?
Oh, wait. Ooh. Wait. Half one.
Yeah. Exactly. So instead of half
So
value.
half one and half one.
All right. So that is if it is even. So finally, the last step.
And then it would be the same thing. It would be return half one plus one. All right?
Step 1. That it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
All right. Let's.
kind of laggy here. Sorry.
No problem. Okay, let's see if that works. We're not going to test out the HTML just yet. We're just going to put in our 8, see if the content.log works. Running that. Aha! It works. We do get.
Yay!
Nice job, guys. So that was.
Where did we put the 8?
I just put it in over here.
Oh, it's at the bottom?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you guys would like, we can add in like the input field and text field and do all of that stuff. Are you guys down for it? It'll take about like 5 more minutes.
Yeah, I think it just look a lot nicer, I guess. Maybe.
Okay. All right, let's do that then. I'm gonna do an input. I think I remember the syntax for this. Input. Input, we're gonna put in ID. ID is param num, because that is our param num. And instead of adding a parameter over here, we won't be doing that. We're gonna set, sorry, the mixer is on again. Param num is equal to, we're gonna do documents. I'm just gonna do the syntax for this because it's a line of syntax that you just gotta remember. Document dot get element by ID. We're gonna put in our ID, which is param num dot get value dot value. Hopefully, yeah, dot value is actually okay. Yeah, param num is equal to that value, and then the rest of it should work. Now, let's do run that, and we do get a okay. Value is not the correct property. Let's try get value and run. Aha. Oh no. Let's just Google it up. How to get value of input field in JavaScript. This is how you code, guys. All right. Document.getElementById.value. What? Okay, that is weird. I did exactly that, but it looks like it did not work. Dot value. Okay. Run. Oh, okay. So it's the error that I had was I did not spell param num correctly because I did not read this value of null. And oh shoot.
Oh no.
Okay, there we go. Param num value. If we do run that. Aha, okay, there we go. Inside here now, we're gonna put an 8 and see if that does split the number. Let's stop. Split num. Oh, okay. So in here, it does return the value, but we're not console.logging it anywhere. So instead of returning the value, we are going to add in a paragraph tag, so p tag, and we're going to add an ID answer. We're going to name the ID answer, and we're going to say document.getElementById by ID, add in our ID, which is answer, dot inner HTML is equal to that array. Simple. And do the exact same thing in the other return. Because in this case, we are not returning, we are just displaying over here. Before, we were calling this number, this console.log split num. So we were console.logging outside, but in this case, we never console.log because we just clicked a button over here and that is it. So we're gonna have a paragraph tag and let's run that. Let's see if it works. Add in our 8 split number, 4, 4. Perfect. That did work. Let's try an odd number. 2, 3. That also worked. Great job, guys. See you later. But no, I'm kidding. That is it for today. Let me finish up the slides and.
Is there a would you rather question for today or something?
So for today, since we did start like at 110, we did not have a would you rather. Would you like a would you rather question?
Yeah. That one.
All right, let me get something up then.
Paratoshin, can you rickroll again?
I'm not gonna do it.
Okay, I got it. It's a simple one, but I think you guys would like it. Let me add it in. Add. Okay. That should be good. And center it. Ooh. So, getting some technical issues as always, but we'll be there in a short minute. Okay. Perfect. Now I will present and I will share my screen. Perfect. Okay. Would you rather only be able to use a fork, no spoon, or only be able to use a spoon and no fork? Let's say for the rest of your lives.
I'd pick a fork.
I can pretty much eat anything with a spoon.
With a spoon or a fork?
I would pick spoon.
Ah, so you would eat cake with a spoon?
Yeah.
Ooh, you would eat noodles or spaghetti?
Yeah. I mean, it might slip a
But
little.
Rodney, here's the thing. You could basically, like, when you're making the noodles, you could make them, like, you wouldn't get the feel of, like, slurping, but you could make them extremely tiny, I guess. And then, you know.
But what's the deliciousness of noodles without the feeling of slurping them?
I know, but that's the thing. If you're gonna use a spoon, then that's what you're gonna have to do.
Yeah, that's true. And if we think about like trying to sip like or eat soup with fork, that's even harder. There's no way we can dry off the water in the soup and try to fork it up. But yeah, definitely. I think. Oh yeah, Sam. Do you have any ideas? Fork or a spoon? No. Okay, no problem. I think all like the two of you have convinced me from a fork to a spoon because I love cake and I love eating it with a fork. But you guys are right that.
But here's the thing. What if it's like, you know, those moist cakes? Like, even for that thing, I'm with Abanish. Eating it with a spoon is just a lot better.
Ah, really?
I mean, if it's a moist cake, I mean, it's just not even gonna make sense to use a fork at that point.
Like,
you know?
it's like a delicacy when you do eat it with a fork.
Yeah, but you know, I personally just don't like it. I mean, there, you know how like people eat a Kit Kat like without breaking it?
Mm-hmm.
It's like that.
Yeah.
Like, it's just at that point, it's like, do you want to look professional? Then you eat it like that. But otherwise, take the simpler route and use a spoon.
Oh man, Kratos, you say words of wisdom. All right, then spoon it is. That will be it for today then. Yeah. Okay. Hope you liked this session with the 3 to 4 of us, but I think it was really fun. The last session for web development or Bell Day, yeah, web development Bell Day. I hope you guys learned a lot through just the Mondays. We're gonna do like a whole like final session for Tuesday and Wednesday, but I hope you guys learned a lot through these mini problems in JavaScript and HTML on how to solve using logic, and I hope that helps you build your logic inside like critical thinking skills that'll help you in the future. So yeah, that is it for today, and for Mondays. That is it for Mondays. Hope you have enjoyed, and see you tomorrow. Bye.
Hey, Lobney, what'd you guys do on Thursday?
Thursday we did not have anything.